You're Near the Wild with Matt Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska.
All right, this is another episode of Near the Wild. I'm Matt Becker.
I'm John Norris.
I'm Greg Chaille, and we have a guest.
Matt Davis.
Matt Davis from Los Angeles.
Actually, we have a guest, comedian Matt Davis.
Oh, that yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
That doesn't work either.
In the bus
Hey,
with us today.
we have a guest on the bus too.
There's another person, not just us. His name is Matt Davis. He's a comedian from Los Angeles.
Welcome, Matt.
Hey. Hey.
Let's not edit any of that. I thought that was
That was
perfect
pretty
the way
good.
it was.
I don't know how to edit.
Matt is here doing a gaggle of shows at Coots.
A gaggle.
Yeah.
Is it called a gaggle? I called it a murder of
Yeah,
shit.
a
Yeah.
murder, yeah.
Like, I've been watching the crows outside, by the way, too. Like I've regressed.
They're not crows;
to my
those are
entertainment.
ravens.
Ravens.
Are they ravens?
Yeah.
They were kind of big.
Once you get
Yeah.
3 foot tall, you're a raven.
Really?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Maltese Falcon.
They have been following me,
You
so
can
that
tell-
explains more.
You can tell it's a raven because it's on the windbreaker on their back. It says right across the.
It's holding a knife outside of a club,
This is
just waiting for the shooting to happen.
This is the perfect time of year if you want to get even with somebody and they like park in your parking spot or something. You just go to McDonald's and buy like a large fry, and you throw it on top of their car. And the ravens will sit on top of their car and eat all the fries, but then they won't leave because they think there should be more food. And when they come out, then the ravens are all like, "What the fuck? Where's more fries?" And you're like, "I didn't start this."
If it's a midsize or smaller, they will actually fly away with the car.
We're taking
you
this
really
car.
just- can you
We're
really
taking
just-
this car.
That's fantastic. I did that in the Bahamas too, dude. I didn't like. I threw fries on him on the beach. I had the seagulls following me from the fucking place where I bought and they just dumped them on him, and they just start flying all over. Just they don't care. The person's
yeah,
there.
right.
They're just taking
They will
fries.
take
start-
the chance.
What
They'll
did the
take
guy
some
do?
amazing.
What did the guy do on the beach? Kick sand in your face?
Nah, I was working with him. I was just annoyed with him. He just annoyed me.
He's the opener, dude.
Yeah. It's him and his wife.
Oh.
Yeah. That may have been kind of a dick move now that I think back about it, but I stand by it. It was still pretty funny to watch.
You mean the dick move was him bringing his wife on the road?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got it.
His wife ate the fries.
Yeah, how come she
No,
didn't
I
eat
was
the fries?
completely right. I was completely right when I did.
Yeah.
Like most of my decisions while drinking, I was perfectly.
Yeah.
If you're in the bus, we're on your side.
Because that's the other thing you can do in
Appreciate it.
Alaska, which you probably can't do in the Bahamas, is you can pee on people's car locks when it's minus 15.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're out there trying to get in. They're like, scraping it. Nah, I can't get in.
If you're bold enough to whip out your dick at minus 15.
And say,
They had
whipped
it
it out.
So Matt,
It keeps a funnel. Just
Make
keeps
sure,
a.
make sure the tip doesn't touch the car at all, or it's stuck there.
so comedian Matt Davis, this is his first time coming up to Anchorage.
First time in Alaska. Period.
First time in
Yeah.
Alaska. That's what I was going to ask. Thoughts? Anything?
It's
Do you have any
exactly-
questions?
It's exactly like the show Northern Exposure.
Really filmed in British Columbia.
I have no idea where it was filmed,
Yeah.
but no, it's just been snowy and me walking around cursing.
You did get the kind of the break in the weather, though.
I did. No, I feel like I brought the heat wave. I really do. Like everyone's excited about it. I'm not that excited, but I'm trying to be excited with everyone. You know,
Isn't
They're
it
like,
great, though,
Hey,
that-
it's 34, and I'm like, yeah.
Well, you can't really appreciate it unless
still
you were here
terrifying.
last week and it was like negative 10 all week.
I watched it. I was watching the weather.
He
Yeah.
did arrive. He arrived during it was like
The
10
tail end of
degrees.
it,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Which now I don't.
Which in my mind was negative 36.
Yes.
Oh, it feels like the coldest thing you've ever felt ever.
Yeah.
You end up doing that math again. It's like, wait, but it's 32 is 0, freezing.
Right.
And
You-
we're at
you
10.
You getting the Celsius loop.
Well, it's this whole weird thing. It's like I grew up in Southern California where it's you don't think about where water freezes. You just go to the ice machine and get it, right? But here you start thinking about that because you got to at like about 24 you got to plug in the block heater for your car.
Okay.
That's a good thing to do. I don't know if you know about that, but that's,
I've heard of this lore, this mythology.
That's something
winter.
I had to learn when I came up here. You got to pay attention to shit up here. I don't know if I'm well, that's why I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Are
That's
you-
it.
I'm tired of
selling it,
paying
or you-
attention.
Yeah, I'm going to let my guard down once.
Yeah, Becker, you said there's bear tracks in your
Oh,
backyard?
yeah, we got scat tracks all around the back there. So.
I mean, have you ever seen a bear back here?
Oh, yeah. No, they're...
I mean, you're up on a green belt. There's right along that fence line is a green belt, and there's plenty of shit going on out there. But I don't ever
green
look.
belt?
Like
Yeah, just forest.
Just woods.
like there's like just through like a stand of trees. There's a municipal park, ball fields and
protected.
stuff. So this area back here, there's nothing. There's just
Just
we're
animals.
still, but we're
Just
still,
animals
we're
being
still in the
animals.
city. We're not we're not like out in the country somewhere. We're in the middle of the city.
In my mind, we're trapped in this bus.
Yeah.
And I have to
There's
figure out
nothing
who
outside of
I
the
have
bus.
to eat first.
that's
Like
it.
that's
Well,
what I'm.
You do have to figure out where the electricity's coming from first.
Yeah.
Because there's no chance to really get down to eating people until that electricity's gone.
Yeah.
Right?
I was thinking about getting a generator, but being as I could plug into the shed, I figured it seemed like a waste.
But it is strange. There are bears just like walking around town, and they're just kind of like big raccoons that will eat your face if they have the chance. Because they just dig through garbage cans and dumpsters and.
Oh, we talked about it a couple weeks ago where you were wrestling the control of a shed from a raccoon.
Dude, fuck raccoons, man.
Didn't you have the crab apples?
Oh, that was
Piled
a
up?
squirrel. Those were.
Oh, that was a
That's
squirrel.
right.
That was a squirrel.
I don't know that we
I don't
have
fuck with raccoons.
Do we have raccoons?
No, we don't have I don't fuck with those things. They have like
I grew up.
ants.
I grew up like raccoons are a constant where I grew up.
You grew up in
Alabama, yeah.
yeah.
I had a pet.
I met you in Birmingham with Doug.
Raccoons are so
Is
weird.
that where you're from?
Yeah, from Birmingham.
Birmingham.
Yeah,
So-
south of it, but yeah.
Do you have a good raccoon story?
I got a few. I've been tormented more than once in my life by raccoons. I've been trapped on a screened-in porch with raccoons at both doors, trying to get to cat food. And you go to one door because they leave it, and then all of a sudden they both show up, and then you go to the other door, and they're both over there. And you're like, I can't fight them, right?
No way.
Because they're raccoons.
Right.
They're not going to fight fair. They're not going to take a
rabies.
punch.
No, yeah, they're
And they
full of
think
diseases.
they think you want the food, which
They're just
I
trying
mean,
to. Yeah, they just want the cat food. Is all
Yeah.
they want.
So
Right?
it's like a home invasion.
yeah, kind of like that.
They're wearing
what they-
masks.
I believe they call it a hot break-in. Someone's home. That means they're desperate. They're breaking in
No, is
when
that-
they know someone's. That's a hot break-in.
They got nothing to lose.
No, not at all.
No,
Can you
raccoons.
describe them? Yeah, he looks like every raccoon I've ever seen.
And here's the thing too: if like you shoot one, like I've shot, I don't know how many raccoons, like with a pellet gun. That's just like you're flicking them in the ear. You know, they run away,
No, they're like.
but they're not
30 pounds,
wounded.
right?
They're remembering.
Yeah.
They're taking it in.
Oh yeah.
There's a
So-
raccoon sketch
So
artist.
here's what happened.
He's like, describe the guy.
So here's what happened. Like about the third time you shot one of them, right? And you go out on the back porch, and they're now surrounding the porch again, and they're calling to each other, right? And they're trying to get the cat food. You realize that they know I'm the dude that shot Bill. Like I'm the one that
Right,
shot.
yeah, they're all up
and
in a tree
Bill's
like,
over
this
there going, "That's
motherfucker
the
has to
son
go
of a
down."
bitch."
No,
That's
they've
the-
This
they've
is
got
like
the
messing with a
poster.
motorcycle gang.
Yeah, and now you're questioning: do they really want the cat food, or are they here for me?
Oh, vengeance.
Yeah,
And cat food.
vengeance, and then cat
Vengeance
food.
and a snack.
Cat food's just like a dessert
Like
at the
a
end
really
of it.
poorly made episode of Walking Dead. They're just clawing at the door. You're scared. You're bolting stuff down. Give them the goddamn cat food.
I'm not giving it to him.
We're taking this prison.
Order. Give them the cat. You're gonna live with them now.
I got trapped
You're
in
gonna
a.
be. You're gonna be a raccoon from now on.
That's where they think the food comes from.
Sorry,
The
Mr.
cat produces
Bojangles.
it. It's the goose that laid the golden egg. We want the cat.
They
and
just
the rest
steal
of
the
food.
cat. They just steal the cat. That'd be great.
I could imagine like a raccoon like run away with a cat under his arm, just like hobbling away. Because they got hands like people. They can grab things and open doors.
I had,
Oh, yeah.
I had a pet raccoon for 6 years
How was that?
when I was in school in Indiana. It was great. He was like a monkey and a cat and a dog kind of all in one.
And a friend.
And he used to litter box religiously, and he was great. And then once they hit about a year and a half, 2, they turn into a wild animal again. And we had him declawed, which apparently you can't do that. But in Indiana, the vet said, sure, we could declaw him. He just ripped his bones out. His claws grew back like that lady
No
from
hands, we just
India
cut
with
his
the
hands
longest
off.
nails, where they just kind of came back in all different directions.
Oh, and Guinness Book of World's Record, the longest fingernails.
So he doesn't hate us that much after this. But then we have his eye teeth removed because he'd always like try to bite you. So then we put a muzzle on him, and we'd take him like to Wisconsin because we couldn't leave him there. So we'd take him on road trips, and it was just kind of crazy.
Was he that good of a pet that you had to?
Well, once you commit to him, I mean, once we had deformed him where he couldn't put him out there in the wild.
What's he gonna do? Work at the circus now? He
mean,
can't even
come-
peel
yeah.
an orange, dude. With those
Yeah.
long fingernails.
Yeah.
But he lived a pretty decent. And you know what was funny is ended up giving my parents in Iowa, and the Iowa has a statute you can't have a pet raccoon unless it's raised by a licensed breeder.
I like that. It was a problem.
I found after listen, this is the beauty. This is why I don't ever throw anything away. I found the original receipt from Jungle Jim's Exotic Pets in Bean Blossom, Indiana, for $60. And I remember he said I have to charge you $60 because the pelt price is $40. Because it was the trained hunting dogs is what they really sell them for. But we use it as a pet. And so I found the original receipt. I give it to Mom. It has the number on it. He called. She goes, yeah, I called the state. And they said, oh, you got the number? Yeah, it's a licensed dealer. You're good. And I was like, I can't believe that. 6 years that thing sat in a book, and I found it. I went, would this be the receipt you're looking for? Anyway, so my raccoon lived a good life.
So it was a problem. It was such a big problem in that state. People just like grabbing up raccoons in the woods and making them pets. They're like, we got to stop this.
No, it's
They
pretty
had to
much
put a
like
law
that.
on the books.
Right.
gotta-
Well,
You
that's
wanna make
just
sure
that's
they're
just
bred.
human nature, right? You grab something, mine. This is mine now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think we've read about those stories in Pittsburgh.
Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland's a hotbed for not showing up.
Snatch and grab.
It's weird. You live here all by yourself in a 5-bedroom house. Go away.
Go away.
You ain't got no wart.
I got trapped in a driveway by a raccoon as well. Wow. It was on the wheel well of the driver's side rear, and I'd walked around the front, right, to get in the car, and it pops out of the over the rear tire, and it's screaming at me, right?
Like a horror movie.
Yeah, and I'm just like stuck because I can't go back around this way because it's like I can't go that way. I
Yeah.
can't get in the car. That means getting closer to it to open the door, and we're just in a standoff for like 10 minutes, and then it finally just fucked off the other way.
Cat food again?
No,
Do you have it in your pocket
that
or
I think
something?
that may
Always
have
carry
been
it with you.
that may have been an assassination attempt. That
This is retaliation.
yeah. At this point, they're stalking me. That's why I left Alabama. That's why I had to leave.
Raccoons
yeah,
drove
had
you out.
raccoons had a
You're
hit
not
out
the
on me.
first guy to leave Alabama because of coons.
Oh, now we did that.
You had a hit on you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the Hell's Angels, but it was raccoons.
Yeah.
They're looking for me.
Well, welcome to Alaska. You're pretty
Yeah.
safe here.
You're
Actually.
safe, yeah.
You haven't done anything to bears, have you?
Not that I know of.
Well, you're good.
Well, once in West Hollywood, but that's a long story.
It was so cold we haven't been able to go anywhere.
I haven't done much. I'm pretending this is all of Alaska, by the way.
It is.
I've kind
as
of,
far as you're going to know.
as far
this
as,
is it.
as far as you know, this is where
It's,
you live now.
It gets weirder the farther out you go from Anchorage, because Anchorage kind of just feels like another city somewhere. But the farther out you go, that's where the weird people live in like dry cabins with no running water, and it's they live in places
It's like
where
the
15
Cumberland Plateau. It's like rural West Virginia.
Oh, yeah,
but with
it's-
more snow.
It gets real weird. Like you find people that have like a sled dog team, so they live in like a bus about this size, but with like 30 dogs,
Nice.
and they need those dogs to stay warm or they will die.
Like
And
they
it's-
sleep with them,
Yeah, oh yeah, they sleep with them.
like a living blanket.
Basically.
I like this.
It's about 4 feet of dogs stacked up, and you just dive in and go to sleep.
You eat one
Sleep
every
in a
month
pile,
until-
like where the wild
You
things
eat
are.
one every week until you get this.
Yeah.
Is this secretly about child abuse? You trying to talk to me?
A little bit. I didn't know how to breach it, so I wanted to tell you this.
You went a very
this
long way to do
analogy.
it. You went a long way to do it.
Did I get the point across? Stop beating kids.
That was it.
If you're upset, just go scream into a pillow. Don't beat your kids, people.
You know what's weird here is you don't realize once you get out of town here and the farther out you go into remote areas, you go, oh, it's so beautiful out here. But any of those driveways you see, if you pull up them, there's a good chance you'll get shot. I mean, they
Yeah,
literally
let's-
have the ones that just throw off the grid. They won't license their cars. They're the part of that whole
You leave
kind
them
of
alone.
Waco mentality. And it's so funny because I always said it got to be impossible up here to do the census. Because you're going, okay, well, I'll just go, okay, it sounds like 3.
Two,
Well, that's the.
two shots.
Well, that's the South
I'm with
is
the
that way.
government. It's okay. You're
Yeah.
not helping.
That's the South is that way though. You get out of the city and then you get into like the rural stuff, and you'll get those. It's just a drive off a dirt road, and it's got a sign that says no trespassing. Right. The next sign says violators will be shot on sight.
Yeah.
Right. And they mean it. It's not like, hey, we put that up in case. No, like the cops stop at those signs
Right.
and they radio up to the house, like, hey, we would like permission to come and give you news. Please don't murder us. Because I lived in North Carolina for a while, in like the country, like in wasn't even in the city limits. It was Salisbury was the nearest city, which is like 45 minutes north of Charlotte.
Where they
And
make
we're
the
out-
steaks.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we're out in like the county, right? Rowan County or whatever. I lived in a geodesic dome next to a soybean field.
Like a
and
for real,
civil-
like
yeah.
Bucky Fullmaster.
Yeah, like a wooden, like a dome.
Geodesic
Yeah.
dome. Awesome.
What were you hiding from?
Here's the thing.
What were you
Now,
growing?
Or sounds like he's a scientist to
There's
me.
a soybean field next to us, a Civil War graveyard at the entrance to the street we were on, and then the Masonic Lodge graveyard that was massive. They like to walk through at night.
It's
when
an
it was nice
amusement
out.
park of some
It
sort.
was amazing. learned several things. One, when a girl says, "Yeah, I'd fuck you in a graveyard," they're usually just saying that. By the way, like when you get in the graveyard, they wig out. I learned that one. And there's that weird moment, like, well, I could probably force it, but then you don't want to do that because now it's I don't know how many.
Put the body.
I know it's all the slots are taken, but turtles. That's the key to that. But anyway. We lived there. My buddy had a problem with our neighbors across the street. We only had like 2 neighbors, right? He calls me one day in a panic because they're shooting. As he put it, they're shooting the clouds out in the yard. And they're just drinking and shooting cans in the soybean field.
Sure.
Right? And the farmer had even told me when we moved in, he stopped his tractor and was like, "Hey, you guys want to shoot stuff in the field, just pick it up when you're done shooting it. I don't care." Right? Just, friendly. Like, you want to set some cans
pick what up? Like the shells?
Like cans.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
like you set bottles and cans up. Just
TVs,
pick it up.
propane tanks.
He wasn't really growing anything in the field. He would plant soybean and then he would burn it.
Mexicans.
I think the soybeans help enrich the soil with nitrogen. I'm not a scientist, nor a farmer.
He just burns
That's what
it.
they do. They switch off between soybeans and corn.
to
He
build
didn't
up
grow
the
anything.
soil.
He just burned it every year.
Okay.
You
Well,
over
that's one way to do
pesticide.
it,
That's
too.
our government at work.
Maybe he just likes burning shit.
Yeah, no, you over pesticide it, and then he gets about what he would get for selling the soybean without doing any of the other work.
Huh.
So you just have to plant it, show on paper that he planted it, and then you dump extra pesticides and you burn the crop.
Well, that makes
and then
sense.
the government pays him.
Boy, look
yeah.
at these 4 suckers in a bus
Wow.
punching a clock.
Yeah. So he would tell you too, I'm going to dump, we're going to burn the crop, so y'all don't have any kids over playing in the field or anything. And you're like, thanks, we're on well water. Awesome. This will be great. My buddy calls me in a panic. He grew up in Charlotte, and he's terrified they're shooting guns. I'm like, they're not going to shoot at the house. He's like, how do you know that? I'm like, because they're rednecks. They know what they're doing. This is the one thing that they know is drinking and guns. They've got this down. You're fine. They have a panic every time they go and shoot.
Well,
They even want to go talk to him. Should I go over and talk to him? Like, no.
They got guns.
Don't-
They've been drinking.
Don't walk onto their.
What they're good. When's the last time you heard about a redneck having a gun accident? Oh wait, every day? Well, maybe.
Well, the thing is they need more targets, so I wouldn't go anywhere near
Yeah.
them.
They're working on
That's
a
true.
buzz and aiming constantly.
Yeah. It's one of those rules. I'm assuming it's here too. When you get out in the remote stuff, it's the mailbox is pretty much where you get to stop. Right? So if there's a driveway and or whatever, once the mailbox is there, you stop at the mailbox and you would yell at the house, "Hey, you guys home?" And then someone would 5 minutes later would walk out, "What do you want?" Holding a 30-30.
That's
right?
far enough.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I'm the UPS guy." They're like, "All right,
I
then."
didn't order
You
anything.
know, that's been
Maybe
my
Amazon.
ongoing problem with all the farmer jokes they always tell. Is they always drive up the farmer's driveway and then ask him about the 3-legged chicken or the
Oh, you wouldn't
pig
get that
eating
far.
apples out of the tree. Yeah, you'd be dead by the time you pulled up the drive. So I pulled up alongside the road.
And I screamed at the house.
Maybe that's why Amazon's going for the drones, the drone
yeah.
delivery, right?
Yeah,
You heard
just
about
to not
this?
get shot.
Oh, can you imagine though?
I mean-
the cool stuff you can get with a nice gun.
Or just like a net, right?
Yeah,
I mean, just put that mist netting up that they
Yeah.
trap little birds with.
let's get some. I'm sure they got a radio blocker that'll break the signal and just drop
Oh.
his drone and a new Blu-ray player.
Just an EMP or
If
something.
they wouldn't have announced it as in 2 years we're going to have this technology, if they would have just done it, they'd have a year lead time before people figure out how to fuck with them.
Right.
Right now, it's
Oh, you've got dudes right now working overtime.
totally.
Because
On
I
how to
always wanted to
trap.
do with pizza delivery.
With a pizza delivery
Yeah,
on
where
it.
it just flies over your house and blows it down.
Well, it's
Drops
good
it.
if you got a big backyard, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it didn't matter. I'd just drop it in your yard. I don't care.
How long does it take
Prepaid.
before you
How
can?
am I can't seduce a drone. That doesn't work for me. I need a pizza boy who's making $7 an hour and willing to do a little bit more for 20.
You don't get
John
it.
goes to the door with his towel on. Oh, you're here. This is quick.
I wasn't expecting
it's
you
a-
at all.
It's a drone.
Sir, you're standing in the driveway. I think you've been waiting for me. Nope.
It'd be pretty bad, though, seeing those little fat, nerdy kids sitting around going, yeah, drone took my job. There's nothing out there for me now.
What would be next? It's like
Delivering the mail.
car auto parts
yeah, but if
delivery.
Amazon's already doing it, they're going to get rid of the post guys. They're next.
I don't.
Why wouldn't they
That's
just,
who's going to be shooting the
why
drones
wouldn't they just
down.
deliver the mail when they deliver the pizza?
There is nothing you get in the mail other than packages that you can't get digitally. I don't understand why we still have mailboxes and guys in wool pants. I mean, they're going, oh, my life sucks. I go, how bad could it be? You're making like $80,000 a year.
Still a
in
good
full
deal,
benefits.
man.
I know.
Still a great deal. I mean, I know they're not making any money, the post office.
Well, I enjoy living in constant fear of a homeless person stealing my mail and signing me up for a credit card and ordering some shit and having
I had
drones.
shit stolen
Just
like
see
a month
drones
ago.
flying
UPS.
into the woods and dropping off shit under my name.
Yeah.
You had like UPS
No, but
order.
since we delivered it, the
No,
woods
it was something
behind
being sent to
Walmart.
me.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Oh, I said the drone. You're like when you call to complain. Yeah, I never got it. Well, it says we delivered it to your place behind Walmart.
And,
What you wrote down.
third dumpster on the left. Oh, yeah, that's. I don't live there anymore, so.
That's not my address.
So what happened with your UPS order?
I had a UPS, something being sent to me, and the dude dropped it at the wrong building, right? The building next door, and just dropped it like on the front steps, and it's just a sidewalk on a main road. And I got it on video. Like the dude just walks over, picks it up, and just keeps walking. Doesn't know what's in there, right?
Yeah.
And
Pretty good
like,
chance it'll be good.
I knew it's popped that it was delivered. I go out and it's not there. I call UPS. They're like, it was delivered. I go, no, it wasn't. Right? It's like you come to my building, it's a door to get in the building, and there's a courtyard. Right?
Yeah.
There's only like 12 units. And one of my neighbors, some dude, I can't remember his name, he's getting his like master's or PhD in like history or something. He's sitting like at a table all day, and he's just there. And I'm like, you
Rear
see-
window, Jimmy
I'm like,
Stewart.
Yeah. I'm like, you
Yeah.
see a UPS guy? He's like, no. I'm like, he didn't see one. You have to confront this man to be in the building to drop it at my door. Well, the driver says it was dropped at the door. I'm telling the driver, he's wrong. It's the wrong building if he dropped it somewhere. And this argument goes back and forth, like, well, one of your neighbors stole it. And I'm like, no.
Stole it.
No.
Stole it.
Yeah. I'm like, no, we're not accusing my neighbors right now, but you have it at the wrong. So all this is going on. The package is like a building away. And it's stolen while I'm arguing, because we have the time code on the video, that it was at the wrong location. So then they finally call me back, and they're like, oh, yeah, he dropped it at the wrong address. He's going to go back and check with the people, to get it tomorrow. I'm like, well, what's the address? Oh, we can't give you that. I'm like, if it's like I'm a block away. This guy's driving around I can
bet I'm
walk
closer.
next door.
Yeah.
Just order something again and watch which door he takes it to.
Yeah, dude, it was honestly the worst like customer interaction for anything. It was
What
just
was
a
it?
failure across the board. That's what really sucks. It was a buddy of mine's father had given me a pair of elephant skin cowboy boots, Tony Lamas, from the 50s.
Elephant skin?
Yeah, from the 50s
God.
that I spent a year and a half finding someone that was willing to resole them. Took it to 3 cobblers, and they're all like, I don't want to touch. I'm scared I'd screw it up. Right?
Yeah.
And I found it's this 80-year-old dude that like he's running his father's business. They put him on the counter, and he's like, "Oh, you don't make them like this anymore."
Wait, is that rare? Elephant skin boots are rare. I feel like you get a lot of boots out of one elephant.
You can get them now. I mean, they're $500 to $1,000, probably $1,500 now.
For the skin for a boot?
No, for the boots, right?
All right.
But those are post ban, like they're illegal. Like if you look the serial number up on Tony Llama's,
We know about illegal up here.
Oh, yeah. We're the heart of the legal.
you look up Tony Llama on their website. You can put in serial numbers, and it'll tell you what model it is. And it's like, we don't know what you're talking about. We never made those. We never made
Oh,
those
wow.
goods. I've been
Classified.
offered, yes, I'd been offered like $8,000 for them before.
That's
Yeah.
weird because I picked
Just-
them up for nothing recently.
Yeah, well, I want to talk to you about this. Shoes you're wearing up here.
Did you get them back from the neighbor?
No, they're gone.
You're kidding me.
They're gone. And they ended in like they filed the thing with the police, and the police are supposed to come talk. No one talks to me. And then like we have the dude's picture, and I'm like, well, can I get the copy of the video? Oh, we can't send you that. Losing my mind. I'm not done with the UPS
You're
thing.
out of the loop on this whole thing, except for actually ordering them.
Yeah, well, they weren't even ordered. They were given to me. They were being shipped from the dude that repaired them.
And he didn't have insurance or anything. I mean,
Oh
it's
no,
all,
they're
it's all
it's
bull-
insured.
Yeah, but
it's
you want
insured,
the, you
but
want
I want
the
the
boots. You want the
I don't.
boots.
It's not the money. That was the argument too. And that was the thing that pissed me on the very beginning. They were like, "Well, I mean, it was insured, so they'll get you a new one." I'm like, "You can't replace what was in the box." You
Go to
can't.
Amazon.com, put in elephant skin boots. Tell me how much they're worth.
I insured them for over $1,000, but it's still I can't get those boots.
No.
And they're made like they're old. They have like the old weirdo heel shit they don't do anymore. Everything now is meant to be comfortable and safe.
Yeah.
And these are like break your ankle if you step wrong.
No, it's made so you could do the Lindy Hop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could
Like the old days. The old days.
Been watching those fucking
Jitterbugging.
Turner movies.
When Matt arrived, I went to the condo where he stays out before I went to go pick him up, and I just make sure the heat's up and everything's clean, and I go, I'll put on a movie. I put on Turner Classic Movies, which John, I know you're into movies.
I've seen a movie.
It's classic movies,
Sure.
and I You told me the other day.
I
you
haven't changed the
you haven't
channel.
changed the channel since.
I have done nothing but watch Turner Classic Movies
That's all
since
I do.
Tuesday.
I love them.
No
Old movies
commercials.
They're fantastic. Everybody's always smoking all the time in those
That was one of the
movies.
things I know. Cigarettes. The only thing more popular than cigarettes back in the day is dancing, apparently. And I'm losing my mind on that. The Fred Astaire marathon and all the
Oh,
dancing.
yeah, that was 2 days ago.
Yeah, and then like the one with the castles, right? That was their last name, and they become like the dancing sensation,
Yeah.
and the whole world's watching. But I'm losing my mind. Going, do people actually give that much of a shit about dancing at some point? Was that really a cultural thing?
He did
Yeah,
29 movies.
There was
about
no.
Did people
TV.
really care that much about like? Was that
There was
really?
no
Yeah, what
TV.
are you gonna do?
Harry Houdini used to do the Hippodrome with 3 tiers of people. He would go behind a curtain, and after 45 minutes, he'd come out with handcuffs undone and go, ta-da! And the people went crazy for it.
Sitting there for 45 minutes. It's a different era, man.
It's so mind-numbing to me, the fact that dancing was like that. It was bothering. I'm screaming at the television going, no one gives that much of a shit about dancing. This is ridiculous.
It's still like America's Got Talent and all those. Like half of those are all dancing. Dancing with the Stars is one of the biggest shows on TV.
That's got a lot of dancing.
There's a draw.
Yeah, I guess you got a point.
John, I think you just...
I date a.
So
a dancer.
I'm
pro dance.
What you're saying is that I would have hated the majority of the country at any point.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
totally.
It
Well,
sounds like you still do.
You still do.
No, I still do. That's what. Yeah, no. That's
My
what I'm
thing
saying.
is now they've reduced dancing down to like seizures and sexual assault, and I really don't see it as a skill. And once you see it as a skill again, then you might have to change your opinion.
Well, yeah,
Maybe.
movies,
I don't know. It was
like
just
dance
really-
movies now. I love dance movies. I love the shit out of dance movies. I watch
Do
any
you?
dance movie, yeah. And movies now, they're all like quick cuts. So you're like, I can't tell if these people are good dancers or not. But Fred Astaire is just
No, he
like
did do the
it's
follow.
just like a
Yeah,
12-minute shot of him like dancing
Yeah.
around a shot, and it's like,
Well, Dancing
this
in the
guy can
Rain
move.
with Gene Kelly.
Yeah.
I mean, you watch that scene. That's all done in one shot.
Yeah, they do one shot. That's
it's
impressive. I'll
amazing.
give it that. They don't
You
stop. I'll
just-
give it that. But it still bothers me. Like they're like at a train station, and like some guys come up, singing and drunk and whatever, and then he starts dancing. Everyone has to part out of the way, and he's basically delaying everybody getting
Oh, it
home
seems
for
really
30 minutes.
inconvenient, but
'Cause
what a
he's
great
just
time. What a
dancing
great
around
story
like
to
an
tell.
asshole. Like you get shot doing that.
There's
Someone
an-
would fucking beat your ass.
There's another side of this you're missing.
Go dance in a
A
subway
third
station.
of all males were killed in World War II when the dance craze started, just to take their mind off of it.
I was going to ask that too. Is like how bad, like what were the Germans focused on that we managed to kick their ass and we were all dancing?
They had dance movies too.
Did they have German dance movies?
Yeah, they were a little stiffer, but yeah.
I knew that was coming.
Goose stepping. They're just goose stepping
Was
around.
the goose step? Is that how the goose step started?
Yeah.
Was it the goose
It
step
was a
two
dance.
The chorus line.
It's not a very sexy dance.
That's the thing I forgot. It was apologies.
Who are you apologizing to?
No, I'm not. But it's just been a plethora of apologies lately, with everyone apologizing. Like with the what's his name? I didn't even know his name until he died. The kid from Fast and Furious.
Oh, Paul Walker.
Paul
yeah,
Walker,
Paul Walker dies, right?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. And then, the saddest part was the movies he was in. But the Wheel of Fortune had a pre-recorded one where the answer was Fast and Furious, and they apologized
Yeah.
for airing it.
Ooh, that was.
Because he was the only guy in the movie, apparently, and somehow they mentioned Paul Walker's name when the guy was guessing with 5 letters left. I didn't get. I go, why would you apologize? It was pre-recorded, and it's a movie. So we shouldn't talk about the movie in vain.
He
Six
never existed.
movies. 6.
That was the closest he got to actually getting acknowledged. Was Wheel of Fortune used the name of your movie? If they'd have done Paul Walker, nobody would have got
I
it.
feel like you've made it. If they mention you on Wheel of Fortune, you've made it in life.
Well, no.
But
They fail to mention that he's just a terrible actor, and has never been good in any of his movies. And it's not like we lost Vin Diesel. It's not that big a deal, people.
No. I just, okay, so then that happens. And then there's more apologies, like, all the way from Paula Dean. Oh, I'm sorry, whatever. And that's fine.
that one bothered me only because she's a 60-something-year-old white
and
lady
she
from
should
South
be allowed
Carolina.
to be a racist, yeah.
Not.
I can't watch her.
Who thought that she hadn't used that word?
Well, who thought deep frying Oreos would be racial?
Well, then there's that.
Why is the white in the middle? Why don't they put it on the outside? I don't know, you fat cunt. But the end result is that. So today was the capper of all caps. SpaghettiOs tweeted their remembrance to Pearl Harbor Day, and they had to apologize because they had a Spaghetti-O holding a flag, and now they're apologizing for it, which I don't know how Spaghetti-O's represents anything more than America.
What flag?
The American flag was
Okay.
flaving.
Just
But-
checking.
Oh, you keep those fucking Itali noodles away from my American flag.
Was Spaghetti-O supposed to be waving a Japanese flag? I mean, I don't understand what the controversy would be,
What?
and I don't understand why a can of Spaghetti-Os is tweeting. I don't understand where the line.
Follow Chef Boyardee on Twitter.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna get rid of. I'm gonna kick all of them off Facebook now.
I think you're going about this all wrong. This is a new dawn of advertising. Think about it. They apologized for an innocuous event, and all of a sudden you're talking about
That's
it.
true. This is reverse
This
marketing.
is this is the free advertising. Spaghettios. They're apologizing. Wow, I love spaghetti.
If you're
Slim
listening
Jim-
into this,
I
do
want
not buy
spaghetti.
SpaghettiOs if you're listening to this.
Slim Jims would like to apologize for not acknowledging Hanukkah. Slim Jim.
Step into a dreidel.
Well, there's just been like a rash of like Twitter and Facebook hoax where people like post stuff as a company, and then it turns out
Oh,
I know
Kyle Kinane.
Kyle Kinane just had a great
Pace Picante
with
sauce.
Pace Picante, and then it ended up just being somebody pulling a trick on him.
Was it for real a trick? Or-
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
The whole
another
thing.
comedian.
Oh man.
another dude fucking with it.
I know. Unfortunately, I bought it too.
I followed it until it started just getting crazy and like corporate speak coming in and saying we let that person go and all that, and then I'm like, all right, this is getting a little too much. But it was really funny when Kyle was tweeting like what he was tweeting. Everyone's heard this. Anyone's listened to the podcast, seen
the
it,
whole
right?
thing that was great was in the end was when Pace like hits him in the end, and they're like, "Well, thanks for all the mentioning us. We'll send you a case of whatever." Like that happened in the end of it.
Yeah.
like for real.
And
Oh, that's
there's-
good.
There was some
That's
real
my problem with Mercedes.
corporate intrigue.
Making my point exactly.
Yeah.
Look at this right there. Even someone goofing as they're being a representative of Pace and then saying all these crappy things about Pace Picante sauce still ends up at the end. Someone's following it all the way to the end, and then it's a case of sauce or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
When they
now, whenever I see somebody eating anything but Pace salsa, I walk over and say, "Hey, faggot, get your New York salsa out of here," and just swipe it off the table. Go get some Pace. So that worked.
Is that a hate crime?
He wasn't really gay. I
it's a
just called
heat
him
crime.
Hate crime.
that. Another thing that's going on in the internet is there's all these waiters who are saying, oh, this person didn't tip me. Here's a picture of the receipt, and it says, oh, I'm tipping you nothing because you're gay. Have a nice day. And then like people start like sending the person money and be like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. And then a couple weeks later, the people are like, wait, no, we tipped that person. Here's a picture of our receipt.
Yeah.
And their credit card statement
Yeah.
where it had the $118.
Yeah.
So they had complete proof. And then she recanted, said, well, I didn't write it. I went, well, you seem defensive.
Wait a minute. There was a zero in the
What I have to gain
She said,
from this?
except the $24,000 that people donated to me. through
Why
my
would I
PayPal.
pretend somebody offended me? That
yeah.
doesn't make sense.
And I think there should be a law, or not a law, but just a, from a corporate standpoint. If you put someone's credit card slip online, you're fired immediately.
I like that.
That sounds good to me.
I mean, I didn't give it to you to post on Facebook.
Yeah.
I had a girl write, I had a girl wrote a while back, and I took a picture of it, and I didn't put it on anything, but it made me laugh.
Becker being in the service industry as a
She
bartender.
wrote $7 million or $5, whichever one you want. I took the $5, but I thought it was a very nice gesture.
That would bump you into a whole new tax bracket if you took this.
Exactly.
Seems like there's a
Yeah.
lot of
Hassle.
But
issues
isn't that
collecting
funny?
that.
That's a funny thing to write. I was like,
that.
or the people who write zero, and they write the word zero in the tip spot. I went, you have some serious hostility. Zero.
What would also help if people just stop believing everything they see on the internet.
There's lie stories. The stories have been coming out. What is that? Current, whatever.
What are you talking about?
People have been posting. It's like the Onion. There's a bunch of ones that popped up there like the Onion, and like it started with the knockout game. there's 2 or 3 stories that were complete fakes, and people started posting them repeatedly, going, "See, look at that! There you go. Carry a gun and shoot him."
Try and get it going.
And it did never happen because I tracked the stories down. And I went, "Well, let's see." That
Yeah, it's just,
weird.
people just reach out for anything that reinforces like whatever they want to think.
Right.
Yeah.
So the second, it's like all this, like you get all the hard right or hard left blog stuff, and people start throwing it out there, and you actually go read one. You're like, this is written by a 3rd grader. First
Right.
off, it's,
Well, Obama is
it's
the
ridiculous.
Antichrist. This guy thinks so too.
But
Right, it's all it is.
But
It's
they're
all it
putting
is.
these up like they're news stories, so they can put it up and you link to it, and all of a sudden you're like, "This is an article that's written." And it's not really from it. In the old days, remember, you used to always do that. You'd be talking to somebody and you'd use facts, and they go, "Where'd you read that?" And you go, "Wall Street Journal or New York Times." And really, you got it out of like National Enquirer. But it was still in print, so you could repeat it. And now, all of a sudden, now we're in this weird digital print where they're literally fake stories, and people are now passing them on like, "Oh, it's proof. It's proof."
oh yeah,
And
they're
it takes
everywhere.
nothing to put it up as a thing.
No.
It is
Well,
just-
that-
it takes absolutely nothing.
If you think about it, though, isn't that the good and the bad of the internet? Because
Absolutely.
you can see it instantly, you can put it up, but then you can get vilified for putting something up and getting found out for it too.
But it's kind
you
of
can-
anonymous.
I mean, that girl, she lost her job,
no, she
rightly
didn't.
so.
I don't think she
They
did.
fired her.
Did they finally
Yeah.
fire her?
She had to defend that this was done and that somehow she was the victim. But like John said, why would I do? What would I have to gain? Well, look at your bank account. She got donations, anonymous donations
Yeah.
from people that felt
She
like
was on
it
like the
bullshit.
Ellen Show or something, and so yeah.
Hey,
fuck these
well,
people.
I mean, it's happened in other forms too, not just the internet. With like what's the Million Little Pieces dude?
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
him?
Oh yeah,
You know, that was a book, and all that comes out, and then
good book.
he has to go. Yeah, good book, but just not true. And then
Could've
he has to
been
go on
better.
Oprah, and he's crying on Oprah, and
well,
she's just
she pushed the book. I mean, she
yeah.
went.
Well,
was
she
in her
made the book.
club. Yeah,
She's the only reason that he sold any books. I mean, really, is
Well,
because she
now that guy, he still writes under pseudonyms, and he has like a writing factory where he hires like young writers to like write books for him, like ghostwrite books.
yeah,
for
ghostwriting.
He
yeah.
writes
And
under
it's
Solomon Rushdie.
It's called book packaging.
Yeah, and he has like 10 or 15 writers writing books, and he's publishing a bunch of books a year under different names. And
That's
he's
that's
doing
what were those books that did that? Hardy Boys, maybe, and some of that. Like
Yeah,
some of those-
Boxcar Children.
Those are all book
And
packaging.
Nancy Drew.
Yeah, Nancy
in
Drew.
the 50s
yeah.
and 60s.
Yeah, those
are
are big
all.
sellers.
They just hire ghostwriters. Like,
Sure.
here's how the book
Harry
works,
Potter.
and here's the layout.
She doesn't
Well,
even read
Falwell
them.
did that.
She didn't read
You know,
them.
Jerry Falwell did that. Like his big collection of all this stuff he's written, he just hired ghostwriters. And like, here's what I want it to say, and they fill in the
He
blanks
just
for it.
rubber stamped it.
Yeah, and then this is all by him. So you could have this big library. Look at all the things I've written.
But he was the conduit to the book. Oh, they Guam? No, they're overrun with snakes.
Well, no, we were talking about it last week. Guam, the U.S. protectorate.
I
You know
do.
anything
I
about
do.
Guam?
I'm from there.
Oh, really?
No, but we're going to do that.
Guam, Alabama.
Guam, Alabama.
Yeah. No, I'm very familiar.
And it was really interesting because since the last podcast, it was in the news. Becker was telling me about it.
Every time we talk about something, it pops up in the next podcast. It's kind of our
we are
in the
creating the
news.
news in here.
It is. I mean, we're really kind of ahead of the curve on this, but yeah. So then all of a sudden, after we had talked about it, they pop up with that's where the Chaille had the rats eaten through the drywall, and all of a sudden now they said that to get rid of the rats, they brought in these snakes. Well, these snakes have now overrun everything, so they're dropping poisonous rats,
No.
poison mice.
Okay, hold on.
What were they doing?
Can't they just wait for St.
No, they're
Patrick's Day?
dumping. They're dumping mice on Guam, though.
But they're dead mice.
Right.
But let me back up a little bit. I know it's exciting when we're making the news, but the
Making up the news?
brown tree snakes are indigenous to Australia and New Zealand, and they showed up in the 40s or 50s when we started, like cargo started ending up there, and then we had that as a strategic location prior to World War II, and that's what happened. That's how the tree snakes got there. You're thinking about Hawaii. Where they
No,
brought
I
in-
mean, I'm talking about snakes, but what I'm saying is they said they're going to drop.
They're mice with dead mice with little cardboard paper parachutes. They're dropping 2,000 at a time, and the mice have been injected with just enough Tylenol, acetaminophen, that will kill the brown tree snakes. And the parachute lands in the trees. There's nothing on the ground. Hopefully, something that, like a cat is going to get it. And the tree snakes will hopefully eat that. And it's just enough to kill them. Whereas to kill a cat, they'd have to eat like 15 of them. And to kill a pig, it'd be like 50.
But you can still lick toads.
Yes.
That'll get your eyes kite.
And because of all this, the Pharaoh has let his people go.
So let's say I have a headache. How many mice am I gonna have to eat?
You'd have
Half.
to eat 7 mice.
Seven?
mice.
Yes.
7 mice.
I've done that.
Yeah. And you want to be careful not to drink alcohol with it, but I don't know how you're going to get down 7 mice unless you're drunk.
Yeah, cook them in some barbecue sauce. Store them in slow cooker for overnight.
Yeah.
Looks like- yeah.
What's a little organ failure?
Yeah.
you know?
And take the parachutes off them first. 'Cause I tell you, those things are
You
hard.
turn those in. That was a wild story, and
Yeah.
it's still in the news because we were talking about it earlier. Or we were talking about last podcast. John is looking for a place to snowbird. Matt Becker here goes to Costa Rica every year for like 2 months, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
He's got a place down there, him and Becky, and John is looking for a place. And so I looked into Guam, and I don't know if it's really the place for you. Well,
Is
I love I love poison mice and I love brown snakes. I don't know any. I don't know.
Sounding good then.
I don't know anything else about it, but those two things sound
Is
exciting.
Guam the one that a while back the congressman in the whole something about the overpopulation of some island country, and he made the statement that there were too many people if we put more military there or something that would tip over.
what?
Yeah, like a congressman said that, like it would tip over, and we need to address whatever. And someone had to explain to him like how
islands
How
work.
islands
How
work?
islands
It's
work.
not a boat.
Are they? Do you need a GED to be in Congress?
No,
No, not anymore.
not at all.
Our senator Mark Begich is the only senator without a college degree.
Really?
Yeah,
Without a college degree.
yeah.
Not
but
even a
college
fake
degree-
one?
Yeah, but
Maybe-
college
maybe
degrees
as a
aren't
fake-
that.
maybe as a fake
College
one now.
degree isn't that impressive. I mean, it's maybe once upon a time, but it's just like a managerial thing now,
Well, I
right?
spent a lot of money on mine, so I like to flaunt it.
Well, all right.
I never.
Maybe you can sell it to Mark.
Yeah, there you go.
They usually get
I like
an
that.
honorary one, don't they? At some point, they'll get an honorary
Yeah.
one. Like some community college will go, we'll just give you
Like
one.
Bill Cosby's got a shitload of them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I think he's
he's
also
a doctor, right?
Yeah, but
Well,
I think he's all. He also goes to school. He wrote like
You think
series,
Bill Cosby goes to school?
Well, not anymore. Now he just
Well,
mumbles. but
online courses.
Wasn't that like an Ernest movie?
Cosby Goes to School would be great. He's actually written a bunch of like books on learning, and he's a smart guy. That's all I know. That's all I can tell you guys right now.
I'm not saying Bill Cosby's not a smart guy.
No one said he's a dummy.
Why are you guys talking shit about Bill Cosby?
We're not.
When did this
We're
become a
just-
Bill Cosby thing?
He's the one who came up with dropping mice from parachutes. He's going to save Guam
Yeah.
from tipping over.
Right.
If it wasn't for
As
Bill
long as
Cosby,
they pull
that
up their
whole
pants.
Well,
Yeah.
because you always see like Wesleyan College gives Will Smith an honorary master's degree, but I don't think Bill Cosby's in that same league. 'Cause I think he actually earned his degrees.
I remember he got a PhD from somewhere. I think that's where he went to school. Actually, gave him an
Temple-
honorary
Temple University?
doctorate in like anthropology or human study or something like that. Maybe some made up thing. I
Human
remember that.
study sounds like...
No, I mean, that's the thing.
Because he's he's done a lot of work in that field. You know,
I mean,
human beings
as long
act
as
this
he's not,
way.
as
Human
long as
beings
he's not
act that way.
operating on people, I'm good with this fake doctor. I mean, Dr. Seuss was good. Captain Kangaroo never owned a
Dr.
boat.
Scholes, good guy.
Dr.
Good guy.
Scholes, yeah.
Dr. Pepper.
But
So I'm looking for a place to spend my winter months. Preferably a place that doesn't take a lot of money or pre-planning. I just like to pick up and
Yeah,
go.
those places are already full.
Ugh.
I actually ruled out Guam for you based on some of those criteria. It is expensive. It's like $2,200 to get there from here. That's a bit pricey.
It's kind of pricey.
They do have the dead mice raining from the skies. So obviously,
But that's seasonal.
That's seasonal.
That's seasonal.
And I just read that they are pulling back some of the Marines from Okinawa and bringing them over to Guam. So there's 8,000 servicemen and about 10 to 15,000 of their dependents coming over. So good luck on an apartment or a well-priced timeshare.
Well, I
Prices are
have
going
a
to go up.
plan. It
Or
involves
flaunting your degree.
Yes.
I have a plan that involves a giant mouse costume and a paper parachute, and I just sneak on one of those planes. Just let them drop me in. I can get down from a tree.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah,
How much Tylenol can you hold inside of you?
a lot.
Yeah?
Better be
A
more
lot.
than 50 mice
More.
because you don't want that pig coming after you, you know?
I actually have been doing research on Adak, which is an island here in the Aleutians.
It's still Alaska, though.
Yeah, that's still Alaska. Oh, I'm not going there to snowbird, but I might go there for work because it seems really interesting now. It was a huge naval base during World War II, and up until like 1994, when they just shut the naval base down. But from the time between World War II and 1994, they were building it like a city, but it's out in the middle of nowhere. That's on an island that's with no trees, ravaged by winds, and they were building houses, and there was a McDonald's, and there's a bowling alley, and a movie theater, a college, a high school, like 2 high schools, because there was like 6,000, 7,000 people living there. But then in 94, they shut the Navy base down, and everybody just left.
Nobody's there.
Nobody's there. Everything is shut down.
How much they want for one of those schools, man?
You could probably get it real cheap.
I wouldn't mind living in a fucking
So they
high
sold
school.
everything
Just
to
me running around in
Yeah.
a high school. Maybe start enrolling some people. You know?
Skateboarding down the halls.
Yeah.
Fuck teachers.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can, there's
Be
like
amazing.
so there's a population of like 100 people maybe that live there
Showering
now.
in the women's locker room.
And you can
know
buy
what I
a
mean?
fourplex.
Don't
You can
stop
go
it.
there and buy a fourplex for $25,000.
Where at?
ADAC.
ADAC. It's in the Aleutians.
Yeah.
So $25,000 you can get a fourplex. Maybe probably.
What's that on the
30.
way to?
Japan.
The edge of the world.
But they have a big rat problem apparently. And I was doing some research about it, and there was like, well, not much we can do about these rats because they're everywhere. But what we can do is look at some other cultures that eat them, and that'll lower our grocery bills. And everybody, it's not that bad. You can use the pelts to make baby blankets. And here's a recipe for rat jerky.
Slippers.
And
So they're just gonna dump Charleston, West Virginia, into that island. Is what you're saying?
No, they're just gonna open a KFR.
How is that a solution? Let's find people that eat the rats and put them there.
There's not even enough people to eat all the rats.
Just go to another island.
At some point, they'll eat through the rat population. No,
No way.
You don't
Not
think
if they're established.
Could you imagine? It's almost like that whole nobody can eat 50 eggs. You finish what you think was a amazing number of rats, and then all of a sudden they go, nope.
I'm going to ADAC for the annual rat eating competition. Hope I'm going to do better than third this year.
That'd be better than that Nathan's hot dog thing.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch that. I'd watch a
yeah.
rat eating
Kobayashi.
Just dipping the rats in water, soften
Actually,
them up, and shove them
that's
in.
where Kobayashi could actually be involved because they banned him from the
Right,
New York
US,
one, right?
yeah.
Why they banned him for being too good?
I can't remember why
No,
they
he
banned.
got-
because
they-
he's in other
No,
food competitions,
They wanted
right?
him to sign an exclusive
Oh,
contract.
exclusive, that's
that
right.
they could only represent, and they only represent 2 contests in the U.S., and so that's all he could do.
gotta
And
keep
he
your
said,
game
I'm not
up."
signing that. I do this for a living. I'm going to do whatever. And then they wouldn't let him. And then all of a sudden he
jumped
showed
on
up
stage,
anyway.
yeah.
And then he pushed a cop in New York, which it turns out is illegal.
What?
So they threw him in jail for 4th of July weekend. The hot dog eating champion was thrown in fucking Sing Sing. And I just think it's
Which
a bad
is-
moniker to go into jail with. How many hot dogs can you eat? It was a long weekend. And I don't think it was Independence Day for him.
Yeah, drop a couple of those competitive eaters on ADAC and let them just go to town on the rats.
Yeah, you could do that. That'd be
Or-
a
or
They
Fear
should make me their
Factor.
mayor.
pay-per-view.
Just
Well,
a
what
fear
else?
factor.
Yeah. There's probably a lot of crappy shit to eat on
Like,
ADAC.
yeah. I bet the rats are probably the worst.
you save that. The
This tastes
cliffhanger.
like asbestos. Wait till you
Yeah.
try the rat.
That'll be the sauce on the rat.
You wouldn't winter there because
No,
it's
that wouldn't be
too
my.
cold, right?
It
Yeah, so
doesn't.
what are you looking
Well,
for?
yeah. What do you? Well, how
Well-
third world you trying to go here?
Uh,
I got some connections in Borneo. I don't know what the weather's like
That's
in Borneo.
expensive in Borneo,
Is it
though.
really?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
eat people there. I know that much.
I'm not really the type
out
that
of
just likes
rats.
to sit on
They're
the
out of
beach.
rats.
They're out of rats.
I don't really like to just sit on the beach. I need there's got to be a bar, some sort of entertainment options. So I
Everything
can't
you've
just-
said so far sounds like Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, maybe that. Yeah, I like that. I like strip malls.
What are your thoughts on old people?
Yeah.
I don't like looking at them,
They
but I can
scare
live
me?
around
Is that
them. They scare me a
They
little bit.
scare me.
They make me think of my own.
Somewhere there's a
longevity.
painting, not aging.
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale could be good.
I thought you wanted to get out of the country, though.
What about the Exuma
no.
Islands?
I don't know what that
The
is.
Exumas. That's the outer Bahamas. Like that's the rural. It's like they call it the real Bahamas in the Bahamas.
Who
Like,
runs it?
It's Bahamian.
So who
Bahamian
runs
government.
it? The Bahamian government?
Yeah, or whatever dudes on that island. Probably the minister or whatever, whoever's the head on
Pirates? No pirates.
I mean, I wouldn't worry about it.
Santeria?
I'm not playing.
Santeria? No, it's mostly Christian. It's mostly like straight up Christian there.
Have you
Because of the
been there?
British. The Exumas, yeah.
That's what
I've
they
been to
said
the
about
Exuma Islands.
Haiti.
Are you selling a timeshare? What's going on? Is this a shakedown?
I'm just trying to throw some options out
I
there.
have a friend who'll let you have it
It's
cheap.
real nice.
I got a place in Guatemala I can't go back to. Want to talk about that?
So Exuma Islands, what's the draw there?
It's just nothing there.
Yeah.
And there's
Beautiful,
absolutely
though?
nothing. Yeah, it's amazing. I went on a day trip to it. You can do it out of Nassau. It's like,
So you have to get there from somewhere else. You can't. There's no airstrip.
oh, you're not going straight in. No, it's
Oh.
a boat. It's a boat in. So they go.
Pack a tent, John.
Yeah. When we went from Nassau, it took about 45 minutes, maybe an hour, to get out, doing like 50 knots.
I need internet access.
Well, that's
That's
I think.
satellites. Satellites can be on and off.
Okay.
So you want remote, cheap, and internet.
yeah. Is
What
that too
about
much to ask?
I can keep you inside the Bahamas. What about Abaco? You've looked at Abaco?
I have not.
See, Abaco. That's the redneck Bahamas, the white Bahamians.
I like that.
That would fit your racist dreams.
yeah.
Go shoot some guns.
Yeah, it's all the redneck. It's all the same people that settled in like the Carolinas.
Oh, so there's
Historically.
raccoons.
So
There's there's raccoons. There's
Surfing
moonshine.
raccoons.
so French accents.
Sure.
I love it. That is an option.
Well, maybe you should look at that one.
Yeah. What was it?
That's the Abaco.
Abaco.
And there's a couple things. I have some friends that have a place in Green Turtle Key, which is you fly into Abaco and then take a ferry over to Green Turtle. It's like a 3-mile island.
Green Turtle Key sounds expensive.
A
Yeah,
3 Mile
that's-
Island.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Not the 3 Mile
Not
Island.
no,
Okay,
not
okay,
not
I was
the.
gonna
Because that one's
3
cheap.
Mile Island
really
That one's
warm.
really
there.
cheap.
It's really warm.
Your power bill's zero though. That's great.
You can light
You
a
are really
cigarette.
tan.
You can light a cigarette from the faucet.
Yeah, I haven't really made any big moves on.
Well, when are you trying to do this by?
Maybe next winter, but you
Oh,
know.
really?
John's
I
not
was
really
hoping I
a
could do by
deadline
Ju-
guy.
Yeah,
I would
Please
like to
don't
make
think
a
about
decision.
Halloween this year.
I'm looking for opportunities. So.
I would like to make a decision today, and you have to follow through on it.
No,
I feel like we should take this to a vote and fast track
We've
this.
had a lot of people looking at it.
I'm gonna
And,
I'm gonna go get my manager. We'll see what we can do. Maybe we can work you
It's
into
like
this.
I'll tell you, John. Life is like Costco. You see something, you go, I should really get that, but they have 8 million of them there, and you go, you know what? I'll come back. You go back, they're gone. 8 million are gone. And you're like, everyone got one but me. That's the way life works.
That's the way it feels.
I'm telling you, if you wait long enough, you won't go.
yeah,
Wow, this
And you'll be-
this
you'll
got,
be-
this got heavy real
you'll be
quick.
wintering
I
here.
feel like I feel like I'm getting a lot of life lessons
This
on the
just
bus
turned
today.
into it like a high pressure sales.
I'm just trying to get him to pull the trigger on somewhere. He goes, I will never go back to Tahiti. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I should have put more thought behind it.
I don't know what happened. I just they were saying a lot of words. I signed something. I don't know, but we got to pack our bags and go right now.
How long have you been going to Costa Rica?
13 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
You still like it? I heard that there's with the law change stuff going on, and a bunch of people were getting irritated with it.
With the what? Like for the...
Yeah, just where they're
Residents?
enforcing like
You're talking about
petty
Americans
shit,
or-
like drinking and driving,
Oh,
getting
well, they've
enforced.
enforced it,
and,
but there's no cops where we live.
really,
There is none. Yeah.
because I was talking to some friends that were just down, that were looking to move there, and
Oh.
they're getting a lot of this from people that were there that were kind of like, well, we're thinking about taking off, but they've been coming down for years just because it was
Yeah.
basically trying to align with the U.S. government on stuff. And all that
Right,
kind
which
of
is
crap.
silly because they were the only ones to hold out on CAFTA. They were the last country to go,
Oh,
we
yeah?
don't want to do this. We get nothing from it. We'll get your crap in our country and you won't take any of our stuff. Some melons.
But now there's a bunch of like industrial possible development money.
Well, China built them $1 billion stadium in San Jose. And
For
I mean,
what?
just to suck up. I mean, they bought tons of land. China's taking over the world, and
Yeah.
everyone's just sitting back going, oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. No, it really isn't going to be fine.
But
It really isn't. We need to provoke China right now.
What's in the stadium in San Jose?
They built a $1 billion
Yogurt.
stadium for them. They used one welder from Costa Rica.
yeah.
They used one
'Cause they
welder
had to,
out of
probably.
the yeah, and they kept them in this whole offsite thing. They never ate at any restaurants. They just stayed there. They worked. They built it. They left. Costa Rica had the unbelievable comment. Well, they built it right outside the San Jose, the city,
Which
Good
is
location.
the capital.
the capital. So they build this. They do the whole thing for free. They $1 billion soccer stadium. Never would have had it other way. They turned around and said, well, there's not a lot of parking. They went, well, build some. And they went, well, we thought you'd do that. It was like, they gave you $1 billion stadium. This is the problem with South America in general. Whatever you give them, they go, well, you know, you gave me day old bread. And you go, you had no bread.
Yeah,
Yeah, this was.
But I've heard about new bread. Could you make us new bread? Anyway, so yeah, it is changed down there a little bit, but we're in a remote area where we're kind of cut off from a lot of things. But yeah, you're right. They have red light.
They're not cut off from
Cameras
fun
now. No, fun still works.
or the beach.
Yeah, over-the-counter prescription drugs, no military, 80 degrees every day. Pretty good. And legalized gambling and prostitution.
I think we just switched the high pressure from Amico or whatever,
Abaca.
Abaca to Costa Rica.
All right, what about Honduras? We'll just throw that out there. You looked at Honduras?
Huge kidnapping problem.
Isn't that where people like live in like the dumps and?
I don't know.
No, you're
I had a buddy's mother and stepdad that lived down there for a while. I'm trying to think of the name of the island off of Honduras.
Oh, off the island.
Yeah.
Or
was
off
called
the
Venezuela.
coast.
Maine.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was off the island. It was called Venezuela.
Yeah, that one.
Colombia.
No, that's where Goose Kirk was vacationing. It was his kick-ass. And then he got, arrested for drug trafficking, and you can find that information on the interview that Doug Stanhope did with Goose Kirk.
Yeah,
The
he
Doug
got
Stanhope
set up.
post.
He got set up.
Yeah.
I mean, caught.
His relation of what Honduras was like any kind of paradise. And then we found out he wasn't in Honduras. He was on an island outside of Honduras.
Yeah.
He stayed there as long as he could. Then he started trafficking drugs and making a very good living. And then
As you did, a lot of money in trafficking things. There's
Yeah.
a lot of money in it.
and then ended up spending, I think, three or 4 years in prison. And I
In
just
Honduras?
remember, yeah.
I thought he got picked up in Brazil because he was on a route that was like well known as a drug
that's
trafficking
right.
route.
That's right.
And so they picked him up in Brazil, and he had to stay in Brazil for. And he was in prison in Brazil.
Which it sounds
Ah.
like the prison in Brazil wasn't as bad.
You don't want to be down there during Carnival, though.
No. In the prison?
Yeah, no, because they still party.
In the prison?
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Carnival.
man. Could you imagine? You're going, I don't have any pictures, but you'd have loved it.
I can smell the steaks.
Steaks.
Becker's been kind enough to put some steaks on, so I think it's time
it's
to
a great
wrap
day
up.
for grilling.
Oh, Near the Wild coming to an end. We must say goodbye to the bus once again.
You know what I have to admit? We were more enthusiastic when it was -5 because we were all
Yeah.
we kept moving because this is actually kind of balmy and nice.
Felt like more of a team.
Yeah.
We had to huddle up a little closer for the -5 just to stay warm. But it was good. Matt, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Yes.
I really
you're gonna
feel
be-
like I really wish we had sorted out where you're going to live now.
I'll keep you in touch. I'll let
Cliffhanger,
you know.
dude.
Yeah, cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Found a nice cell in Honduras. They're not letting me leave.
Oh, I do want to say one thing. We're now on Stitcher. We're on iTunes,
Yeah.
but now we're on Stitcher. You can
Sweet.
stream it live or
Yep.
however
And
that
automatic
works.
download.
Yes, auto
That's what I
download.
get.
Yeah,
now
you-
it just loads it right up.
so right on.
Nice.
Yes. So yeah, and Matt, you're wonderfully funny. I went and saw him on Tuesday night, and then of course the show on the Birdhouse show last night. But hysterically funny.
Thank
It's
you,
Nice.
man.
that,
You're in Anchorage for a few more days. Where are you going after this?
I go back to Los Angeles for a little bit, and then I'm do my beginning of the year, New Year's Eve through January is like Ottawa and Toronto. And then I go back, and then I go to the Bahamas. So I'll check out some places while I'm
Please
there.
do. If
I'll
you,
check out.
if you see any huts, grab the flyers and.
I'll
send them
yeah,
to me.
I'll make some phone calls while
Thank
I'm there.
you.
Get you out in some weird joints.
And if you're a Canuck, please go find Matt Davis when he's in your part of the wilderness.
Perfect. All right. Another episode of Near the Wild. I'm Matt Becker.
I'm John Norris.
I'm Greg Chaille, and
I'm Matt Davis.
Goodbye.
You've been listening to the Near the Wild podcast with Matt Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska on Matt Becker's backyard bus. Engineered by me, Greg Chaille.
The sweet sounds of the 1960s coming at you.
Wow. You're hard to
good,
drive
man.
to.
That's
Like,
sweet.
yeah, great to go to bed.